Good morning to our viewers in Asia and hello to others watching from around the world. Welcome to ARIRANG News Break. We begin with the nation's economy. Korea's job market continues to show little signs of improvement amid internal and external uncertainties. The number of new jobs added last month remained in the 200,000 level, while the youth unemployment rate hit a record high for the month of May. Oh Jung-hee reports.
Statistics Korea says the number of employed people in the nation stood at around 26.5 million in May, up 261,000 compared to the same month last year. This marks the second straight month of new jobs added, remaining in the 200,000 range. While overall job conditions remained sluggish, the picture for Korea's young people was also pretty bleak. With more people between the ages of 15 to 29 jumping into the job market, the youth employment rate and the unemployment rate both rose in May from a year earlier. The economic activity participation rate of the younger generation rose 1.3 percentage points to over 47%. The age group's employment rate came in at around 43%, but the youth unemployment rate remained stubbornly high at almost 10%. The youth jobless rate was at an all-time high for the month of May. The figure has been hitting a record high when compared to the same month in previous years since February. The Finance Ministry expects Korea to continue to add more jobs at a gradual pace thanks to the service industry, but notes a possible shock from slumping exports and the government-led corporate restructuring drive could threaten the job market. Oh Jung-hee, ARIRANG News.
China has announced plans to ban the export of certain items to North Korea, following through on its commitment to UN sanctions against the regime. The materials could be used to help Pyongyang build up its nuclear, chemical, and missile arsenals. Connie Kim reports.
China's Ministry of Commerce has expanded the list of items banned for export to North Korea in an effort to prevent Pyongyang building more weapons of mass destruction. The list of dual-use goods, products that have both civilian and military use, includes 40 items including magnetic materials, laser welding equipment, and chemicals that could be used to produce chemical warfare agents. The ministry said the new list is in line with UN sanctions adopted in March as punishment for Pyongyang's nuclear test early this year. China announced its first round of trade restrictions on North Korea in April that includes a ban on imports of gold and exports of rocket fuel. China's new measure comes on the back of the International Atomic Energy Agency's claim that the North appears to have reopened a plan to produce weapons-grade plutonium from spent fuel. Experts say Beijing's move is part of the Chinese government's efforts to show the international community that it's willing to strictly implement sanctions on its longtime ally. Connie Kim, ARIRANG News.
For the first time, South Korea, the United States, and Japan have agreed to boost cooperation on issues related to the Middle East and North Africa, regions that have struggled to deal with terror groups like Islamic State. Park Jong-hong tells us more.
The inaugural meeting in Washington went beyond the usual topic of security in the Asia-Pacific region. Senior diplomats from the three countries reportedly discussed ways to deal with the growing threat of the Islamic State militant group. The State Department issued a brief statement saying the trilateral dialogue provided an important opportunity for the three governments to exchange views and coordinate policy, as well as to explore opportunities to deepen cooperation in the region. Other diplomatic sources said the meeting helped Seoul, Washington, and Tokyo exchange views on ways to share information on the Middle East and North African political affairs. Representing the three countries were South Korean Director General for African and Middle Eastern Affairs Kwon Hee-seok, U.S. Assistant Secretary for Near Eastern Affairs Ann Patterson, and Japanese Director General for Middle Eastern and African Affairs Tsukasa Uemura. Park Jong-hong, ARIRANG News.
The head of troubled Lotte Group has apologized for causing concern over the allegations of financial irregularities that have gripped the conglomerate. He has vowed to fully cooperate with the prosecution's ongoing investigation. Shin Dong-bin made the remarks to reporters at the groundbreaking ceremony for a joint venture chemical plant in Louisiana in the U.S. Prosecutors in Korea have stepped up their investigation into allegations that Lotte amassed slush funds through illicit means. Amid raids of several Lotte offices this week, Lotte Group has put its initial public offering plan for Hotel Lotte on hold. The Lotte Group chief said he would try to push ahead with the IPO by the end of the year. Seems like there's much more to being happy than living a long life and earning a reasonable income. Despite reaching decent levels in those two aspects, South Koreans remain quite unhappy on the whole. A report by the Korea Institute for Health and Social Affairs published Wednesday found South Koreans' subjective happiness was below the world average. This is despite South Korea having an above-average GDP and life expectancy compared to the rest of the world. The analysis is based on the UN's World Happiness Report 2016, released in March, that compiled data from the past 7 years. Korea ranked 58 out of 157 nations. And that does it for now. Thank you for watching. Keep you tuned to ARIRANG for more of the day's headlines throughout the day.